Hey guys, Rivalboss here, and real quick, we're doing this a little bit differently today. I'm going to show you the image before I show you guys how to install it. If you see this image and you want to install it, stay towards the end of the video. I will have how to get this thing up and running. So this is the Wolf, basically 128 image, and we've got our arcade games. And each one of these, by the way, does have a screen, a video. And we got lots of, how many arcade? We got 2,200 arcade games, classics. We have 579 Atari 2600 games. And as you can see, we have the little ET guy there. And we've got all of our games going. We got, what is this, 72, 5200. We have 66, 7800. Each one has a nice little custom screen. We have 82 Atari Lynx games. Those are cool and fun. ColecoVision, we have 117. What's in here? Yeah, we got some good ColecoVision. We got Daphne. We only have 3 images, so a little less than the image on my own image. You do have Dragon's Lair 2, though. That's kind of nice. Dreamcast, you have 1 game, but it does not work. This does not work on a Pi. You got your Game and Watch. You got your Game Gear. How many you got? 282 Game Gear games. That's pretty good. We have 563 Game Boy, the original Game Boy games. We have 92 Game Boy Advance games. That's a really nice list. Each one of these does have the videos as well. We have 535 Game Boy Color games. I've just started messing around with the Game Boy Color a little bit more. Kind of cool. 174 Intellivision games. We have 336 Sega Master System. Let's see if the big guy's in here. Golden Axe Warrior. This is how I rate all things, by the way, is Golden Axe Warrior. There's a bunch of other really good games too, but Golden Axe Warrior is always a good thing to see if it's on here. And there we go. Let's see which ROM it is, just out of curiosity. There is a European version and there is a US version. I actually need to put the US version on mine because I have the Europe one. Okay, we have the English one, so that's good. Okay, let's see what else we have. Going back, we got 702 Mega Drive. That's really good. We have 423 Mega Drive as well. I'm guessing these are wrong. Oh, these are the Japanese ones. Japanese ones, okay. We have 38 Nintendo 64 games. That's a pretty good collection of N64 games. We've got Castlevania. We've got Cruising the World. We've got, oh, Doom 64. That's sweet. What else? We got Killer Instinct on here. That's pretty sweet. Just to kind of show you too what these run. The reason I don't add a lot of N64 games on here is a lot of times they have a really hard time. We're going to see what Killer Instinct runs like real quick, just to kind of show you. See a little bit of stutter. Not too bad. But as you can see, there is just some frames dropping. It's kind of slow. Also, I got to figure out where my buttons are. And there's lots of sound issues. So that's kind of why I don't add too many N64 games. As you can see there. But there they are. You know, if you... This is on a B plus too. So if it's on a B, it's probably non-essential. Some of the games like... what do you call it? The actual Mario Kart and stuff don't run too bad. We got 136 Neo Geo games. Let's see real quick. As you can see, oh, they do. They have Cross Swords, which is a kind of cool game, different. If you guys are looking for something neat to play. Good selection of Neo Geo games. We have 813 Nintendo NES games. That's pretty good. We have 3 CD games. What are those? Those are Castlevania. Oh, these are on the, yeah, okay, that's cool. PC Engine, we have 149. I like Alien Crush. We should play some Alien Crush later. We have, how many PlayStation? We have 64 PlayStation titles. Some of these are pretty good, like Bushido Blade will play good on our cabinet. Of course, Capcom versus SNKs. Most of these are going to play pretty good. In fact, this looks very close to what I have on my image, minus stupid games like Frogger here. Yeah, I mean, it's got more PlayStation games. I would say mine are more tailored towards an arcade machine. But this isn't bad, Mr. Driller. But so you got 64 PlayStation games. You got your options. You got your 32X. We have 33. So it's missing just a few. Oh yes, Doom 32X. Now, only a couple of these you'll actually want to play. This is one of them. Space Harrier is really good. Let's see how Space Harrier runs real quick. Oh yeah, that's running really good. Okay, we got Sega CD 37, and yes, we do have Time Girl and Snatcher on here, as well as Slipheed. We have 136 Super Famicom. We have 16.8 SG-1000. We have 781 Super Nintendo games, 5 graphics, 17 TurboGrafx CD. We have 94 TurboGrafx 16, 23 Vectrex. We have 131 Philips Video Pack, which is a very odd system to have on here. 24 Virtual Boys. We have 86 arcade classics. We have all 90 of the Capcom classics, which is great. We have a bunch of the Castlevania, 13. Got Capcom 1, 2, and 3 represented. Data East. Incrum's Castle's Konami classics. We have a bunch of good ones in here. Super Mario, we got 38. So you got everything from Mario, Dr. Mario to Mario Golfing. There's our Mario Kart 64. We got 26 Mega Man. We got 5 Metroids. Original, Fusion. So we got the Game Boy and the Super Nintendo one. Midway Classics. Pretty good, pretty good. Mortal Kombat's, we have bet everything but 4. Let's see. There's 3. Yep, CD. There's 4 on PlayStation, so that's halfway decent. Namco, we got classic Nintendo. These are like the arcade games. That's pretty cool. Got 20 of those. Pac-Man, we got 27 Pac-Mans. That is a lot of Pac-Mans. 148 Sega Classics. 262 shoot-em-ups. That is great. What a great bunch of shoot-em-ups. SNK Classics 113, Sonics 27, 21 Street Fighters, 179 Tico, William 15, Wrestling 78, Zilda we have 10. All games we have 8,838 games. So in the bottom of RetroPie, the options, there's going to be a switch to attract mode. You're just going to click that, and it's going to go switch over to attract mode. And I'll just show you real quickly what the attract mode looks like. But it is a functioning attract mode, so if that's kind of what you're looking for, this is the way to go. Pretty neat, right? Got our favorites. I don't even know what's in there. Let's keep going the same direction. Atari 26, 52, 78, Coleco, Vectrex, Television, PC Engine, CD. Just to kind of give you an idea what all the images look like. TurboGrafx N64. Pretty cool. As you can see, it's a little slow and it's a little slower than I would like. I think he just has it really loaded down with stuff. So it would kind of take a while to get to anything, but it's very pretty. This is a very pretty attract mode. Neo Geo, Sega CD. Some of these images are so pretty. The one Capcom or the Dreamcast game, Sega Master System, Mega Drive, PlayStation. The PlayStation logo is pretty good. I like it has the CD and the box art. Okay. We remember we deleted the videos for that one. That's why we weren't getting videos. Game Boy. Oh, I like it shows the Game Boy cards. That's pretty cool. Real pretty track mode though on this one. I don't think that's what the cartridge looked like. Just saying. Game Boy Color. Virtual Boy. Game Gear. So pretty neat. So if you like this image, leave a like and subscribe. Tell me about what you liked about the image. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps out. And now stay tuned for how to actually make this image and get this to run on your Arcade 1-Up machine. That's what I'll be showing next. Hey guys, Rivalboss here, and today we're going to look at a new 128 image from Wolf. And this is the same guy that brought us the 32-bit gig all arcade one, and now he's made a 128. So let's check it out. So I will tell you a couple things I know about this image art right off the bat. It barely fits on a 128 card, barely. So what we're gonna have to do. Oh, and by the way, this image is super funny because this is the same company I use to make my intros. So it's super funny that he's now using this. I mean, I've used that exact intro before, which is awesome. But, they do really good work. Okay, so the first thing you need to know is, though, that this thing has no room left on it. It cannot save your button configs. It can't do anything. And half the time it's going to freeze up on you. If it does freeze up, just shut the thing off, restart. But until we delete some of this excess stuff that's on here, we're not going to be able to get in really well. Real quick, while the emulation station is booting, I would just like to say thank you guys again for subscribing and liking the channel. We are now well over 1,000. I'm going to do something for probably 1,500, I think. I'm going to make another image, and then also going to have maybe a giveaway coming up. But anyway, just thanks guys for liking and subscribing the channel. It's great. It's great to have all the support, and I love hearing from you guys in the comments. So it's going to ask us to set up the buttons, and we're going to do that real quickly because it's not going to really matter. So we're going to set up our buttons, and what we're going to do is we're going to plug in a keyboard, and the first thing we want to do is go to the Wi-Fi settings, and we're going to connect this to our computer so we can edit some things, because right now it's kind of unusable for us. We're going to go to options, and I just want to show you guys real quick that this thing is completely full. So if we go down here a little ways, we'll see a thing called system information. Well, I'll show that to you afterwards. Right now it is completely full. If I show it to you, it probably will crash the thing. So we're going to go to Wi-Fi. And Wi-Fi is going to boot up. And now we're going to get our trusty little keyboard. Yes, we want to launch Raspberry config now. So we're going to get our keyboard out. Yep, keyboard, enter. Okay, so now we're going to go to our configure network options, number 2. And we're going to go to enter. We're going to enable Wi-Fi. And we got to pick our country. That's all we have to do. Don't ask me why we have to set our country, but until we don't set our country, it will not work. So we go down here to the United States. So after we've set the country, now we want to connect to our network. So we're going to go in there, and we have to use our keyboard for that. This no longer works. So we're going to go to connect to Wi-Fi. And then we're going to find our network. Usually it's going to be something like this. Notice I have a whole bunch of different random ones on here. And then we're going to enter our password for it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our computer now, and I'll show you what to do next. Now note, when I exited back to the main menu, the machine actually has frozen. But that's okay. We're just going to leave it on for right now because we can still access the memory card. So now we're going to go over to the computer. Okay, so now that we've connected to the Wi-Fi, it's sitting over there kind of frozen where I can't really move it, but we can still access it. So you're basically going to go to your, this is on Windows 7, I believe. Windows 10 is very similar, though. You're just going to go to your network, okay? Hopefully you're going through like a router or something like that. And then you're just basically going to type in / and then RetroPie, okay? All one word, all caps. And that should connect you to your Pi. If not, you can also try the / with whatever that IP address was. Eventually, you should be able to get to something like this. So the first thing we're going to want to do is make enough room so this thing stops having issues. I recommend going into the ROMs and then going into basically the ports folder. So you find the ports, and I would basically delete the ports. Because honestly, you're not going to have very many like ports that are going to run on this anyway. So just get rid of the ports. That's going to free up a bunch of room. You're going to see it delete it. Here it goes. It's deleting. It's freeing up 390 megs of space. We're going to make sure that we get enough space though. So we're going to do one more thing real quick. The other way to save data really good is pick a system you don't really care about that much. So for this sake, we're going to pick something pretty easy to find that we know has ROM. So I know it has Atari Lynx in there. Don't really care too much about the videos for Atari Lynx, so we're going to look for Atari Lynx, which is up here. Then we're going to go to Media, okay, and then we're going to go to this Videos folder. And we're going to just, we're basically just going to go in and delete this, right-click, delete the Videos folder. And here we go. We're deleting that. Now you can pick whatever system you really don't care about, but you just got to make some room, and videos really take up a lot of room. Okay, and now next we're going to go into the config folder over here, okay? And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to navigate to the all, and then we're going to navigate to the RetroArch joypads right here, guys. And we're basically going to get rid of these two config files because this is basically, he's made like a little custom thing and we don't want this. So we're going to get rid of this. Okay, we're just going to go out. We're going to go in. We're going to delete these two files. So the other thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the overlay and we're going to get rid of as much as we can here, okay? So we're basically going to grab all these. It is. So we're going to grab from the bottom. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to just delete these. We're going to hit OK. Now, anytime it gets to one that we can't delete, oops. Anytime we're going to do this for this conflict, and we're going to go skip. So it's basically just going to skip some of the ones that it can't get rid of right now. But this is also freeing up some space, and it's also getting rid of overlays, which we don't want anyway on the system. As you can see, we've deleted all those, and now we are only left with 2 files on the thing. So now it's time to go head over and work on the Arcade 1-Up machine. We're going to basically reboot the Arcade 1-Up machine, just turning off the power and turning it back on if it's frozen. If it's not frozen, then you can shut it down and then restart it back up. Okay, so once the system reboots, you're going to have to configure the configuration one last time. So we're going to hit a button to do that. We're going to go up, down, left, right, start, select A, B, X, Y, left shoulder, right shoulder, and then skip the rest of these. So basically we have just a couple more things we need to do. I'm going to show you first what the thing will look like before we do these and after. And then I'm also going to show you that room that we just freed up and why this image suddenly works. So basically after we get done setting our buttons, we're basically going to go in and I'll show you. We exit out of here. Basically in the options, that one I was going to show you before, we go down here to system information, and this will show us our IP if we forget our IP, basically, and how much room we have, and also the core temperatures. It's a hot day today in Arizona, by the way. So as you can see, we have 683 megabytes still available. So we didn't quite maybe have to delete all that we did, but it's good to know. Before, that number will say 0, and it probably will crash your system. The other thing we're going to do now is we're going to go up here to all the way up at the top where it says configuration. Okay, so actually we're going to show you what the games look like before you do this. So before you do this, you would just boot up a game, say, we'll boot up a Sega CD game here. We're going to boot up a good one, Android Assault. And as you can see, he's got his own little custom images, by the way. You can change those if you want to. But basically, the game will boot up, and as you can see, we're going to have, you know, these nice bezels. They're nice. Like if you were running a normal television, you don't want to remove them because it's going to make the ratio correct. But for our purposes, for this arcade 1-up, these bezels will not do. So we're going to hit our select and back, and also the ratio's off too. So we're going to go back, and we're going to go back to those options. Okay, and we're going to go to the configuration. Now this is where we're going to change the options for all of the things. We're going to go to configure basic Libre emulation. Okay, then we're going to go down to the one that says for all. Okay, and this is where we can change our ratio, which I've already actually changed before. So, but we're going to set it to 5:4, and then we're also going to see this one that says video shapers enabled. We're going to turn that to false. That's going to turn off all those bezels. We're also going to set overlays to false. Okay, an overlay file, it's unset. Yeah, see, and I clicked it, but you don't need to set any of that either. So there, it's showing us the different bezel sets. We don't want any bezel sets. And then once we get false 5:4, you can also turn on video smoothing if you want to. It just kind of looks a little bit different. It's kind of up to you. We're going to go back and we're going to hit cancel. And we're going to hit cancel again. Cancel again, and we're going to back out. And now we're going to try that same exact game that we just did. And you will see that there will no longer be bezels, and it was already 5:4, but if it wasn't in 5:4, it will be now. Okay? And as you can see, no bezels, and it's in 5:4, and our buttons work perfectly. So we're going to play some Android Assault for a second just to show you. And that's basically all you have to do to this image. So we had to basically connect it to Wi-Fi, then we had to delete some stuff to make some room on the image, and then we had to delete the configuration for his controls. You can do that with just how I deleted the controls there. If you're having trouble with my image, my 1,000 subscriber image, you can do the exact same thing. You can go in there, delete the config, and set your own, okay? But basically, you know, that's all you had to do for this. And then we also had to get the 5:4 for the arcade 1-up and get rid of the bezels. Those two things you wouldn't have to do if you were playing on a home arcade or a TV, you know, a 6:9 TV. But we had to do it for our thing here. And as you can see, the game works great, looks great. This arcade 1-up monitor is really good. I really like that. I mean, it's really, just for that alone, they made a really nice, high quality image. Pretty cool. And then when we want out, hit start and select, and it kicks us back. So now, you know, I would like to say thank you so much, guys, for liking and subscribing.